All right, first shots, Taurus, model 85, 38 special, UNC Remington, 130 grain, full metal jacket. Pretty good.
Hey guys, Outdoor Enthusiast 88 here again. So let's talk about this Taurus Model 85. It's a matte stainless steel finish, 5-round 38 special with plus P available, revolver, and it's a Taurus, almost like a budget revolver. I did shoot a video on an unboxing and initial review of this revolver, and this is actually just an excellent option for someone who's on a budget. Really, you know, the more I shoot this, the more I realize that it's not just a budget revolver, and we'll talk about that. It is an excellent quality revolver too. No issues whatsoever, about 150 rounds in. Takes a while to shoot 150 rounds, I'll tell you that, because you're only shooting 5 rounds at a time. And we'll talk about these speed loaders, and also some of the things we'll talk about is what or who would actually want to carry this revolver and why. There's some really good benefits as well as some drawbacks to a revolver like this, especially this size. So some specs, if you didn't see my other video on the unboxing, definitely check it out. I went through some of the specs a little more in detail, but you got a 5-round capacity wheel right here, cylinder, little wheel gun, right? So you got a cylinder with 5-round capacity. You have a 6.5-inch overall length, a 2-inch barrel, and it says on the website that it's actually 22.2 ounces. Now I do have a scale, so I don't think I did this last time. Let's kind of double check that. Unloaded and actually with a bunch of grit all over it. Let's see how she's doing. 21.4, so lighter than what they actually say, so that's pretty good. So that's some of the specs. You have the rubber overmold kind of textured hand grip. I would not replace these grips if you do get it. One of the benefits of them is that they're just awesome. They're not hard, they're not super soft, they're kind of right at a happy medium there, and it's something where you can actually get almost all your fingers on and fire away and have a lot of fun shooting this thing. So there you go. So who would actually want to buy this and why? Well, let's talk about some other firearms, okay? So this is not a semi-automatic, it's a revolver, okay? So that being said, if you look at something like a shield, right? You have a pretty heavy slide, okay? It's not super heavy, but for someone with some weaker hands or smaller hands or something like that, this could be a problem. So a revolver like this, which is a similar size to the shield, and we'll kind of compare some other guns in a little bit here, but a revolver like this is just the perfect size for someone who might want to do something a little different than a semi-automatic, that doesn't want to bother with a slide, doesn't want to bother with how overcomplicated potentially a semi-automatic could be to someone new to firearms. And plus the fact that this is lightweight. I mean, this plays in the same weight ratio as the shield, which is a very popular concealed carry option for a lot of people. So, and being not complicated, being low budget and cheap, but still a high quality firearm, that's awesome. Like I said, I haven't had a single problem with this, and we'll look at the internals a little bit in a minute, but so far, so good. Now that being said, I did have a couple of my friends go and shoot this, and I kind of recorded their first reaction. It's the first time they really shot a revolver for a couple of them, and actually the first time that they've ever shot a Taurus. So let's see what they say.
There you go. What'd you think?
It was nice. You know, the heavy pull on the trigger really isn't that bad.
No, it's smooth.
Yeah.
I think it's really smooth. Yeah, you can hit those steel targets no problem. So what'd you think?
It was good. I had fun.
From the women's perspective, how you feeling about the little heavier weight, but the recoil?
I'm glad we didn't get the other one.
The lightweight one?
Yeah.
All right, 38 Special, Remington UMC, semi-jacketed hollow points. I think it's 125 grain. See how they do. It's plus P ammunition. Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel the recoil difference and just the noise level too, the Plus P. But it still shoots good. Some more Remington UMC Plus P, 125 grain. Oh yeah, good stuff.
All right, so you saw that the double action trigger is just not that bad. It's really smooth, you pull all the way through, and I really think it gets smoother the more you shoot it, the more you get used to it. And of course, the single action is just awesome, awesome, awesome. So you can see that it's not that hard, and it's pretty easy to operate. It's just a hell of a lot of fun of a gun to shoot. And let's go and kind of talk about some accuracy here. Oh man, so we were actually went to an indoor range to do this because it's been kind of hot around here recently. So we went to an indoor range. You have the Taurus M85 at 15 feet. Figured that was a good distance, and this was actually the first 5 shots I shot of the day, and then I kind of just goofed off from there, shooting around. Just kind of, they should actually really group up here. There's a flyer up here because there's like 5 rounds here. I think there's one from just me kind of just aiming randomly. But this is a good 5-round group at 15 feet. You got 5 rounds right here, 2 right here. You got another 5 right here, a little 6 down here. I don't know which one's which. Then you go over here, the Ruger LCP2. I can't shoot that thing accurate worth crap. Like I can hit a steel plate with it, which is so it's fine. You can hit headshots all day at like 15 feet, maybe 7 yards or so. But beyond that, that's more like a gut buster, honestly. I mean, it's a 380, so. And then actually, this is more the 380 there. I got a little better as I practiced, but the thing is snappy. Snappy, snappy. And that being said, honestly, let's talk about models of handguns, all right? Because you're not comparing this Taurus to something like a 15-round full 9mm, this is actually a compact officially, but like a 9mm to 15 rounds, because you just can't carry that amount of ammo. But it's also a lot lighter. So you're actually, you have a shield, you have a Ruger LCP2, and the Ruger LCP2 is the smallest of them all, right? Show you guys that. But this is actually probably more close to the shield in almost exact size. Obviously it's a little wider with the cylinder there. But it's closely related to the shield. Now the only thing is the shield only has like 8 or 7 round mags, and even with like a short stubby mag, I mean, it's pretty close in profile. The longer mag, of course, makes it a little bit bigger. But the Ruger LCP2 actually has, 6 round mags. And even that, compared to it, doesn't really change much. However, the Ruger LCP2 is vastly more snappy, I would say. This thing is not that fun to shoot for long periods of time. It just isn't. I mean, it's something that really kind of aches your hand, and then when you're done, you want to go to rifles because you're done with pistols. You just, you give your hand a break. I usually shoot this in about 50 round increments, and that is about as much as I want to shoot. And you can see the accuracy is just okay. The sights are a little better than the original one, but this one really is more of a close range point and shoot, and do your best, really. I mean, it's not going to be a sharpshooter, little LCP2 there, or the LCP. Now this one though, I mean, this one is really accurate, and it's a lot of fun to shoot, and the accuracy plus the simplicity and the reliability, I mean, make it a great option for concealed carry, I think. Now if you do concealed carry, let's talk about this. You have a lot of capacity in the shield, a lot of capacity in the Ruger LCP2. Well, 1 more round in LCP2, right? You got 6 rounds. You only got 5 rounds in this Taurus. So how do you want to go and run that? Okay, so I actually got a couple of different kinds of speed loaders, and I have tested them out, played around with them, kind of see how they work, and they're okay. I mean, you got pros and cons to all of them. So I got, here's one right here, the speed loader, the HKS, model 36A. This one right here, it's a hard plastic ring with a metal knob, and how it works is you actually have 5 rounds locked in here with a locking plate, and there's a little thing that turns. See that, how it turns back and forth? But you actually have to put pressure on the rounds to lock it, and now it's locked. and then you can actually go turn it and it unlocks. That's one kind. You also have these speed strips. Okay, there they are right there. Now these are good for a couple of things. One, you can go and put 6 rounds on here. You only can fit 5 at a time, but if you want, you can put 6 rounds, maximize the amount of ammo you can carry, and these are in a nice straight line, flat, easy to put in a pocket. Compared to this, which is like putting another cylinder in your pocket. So this is easy to use, I think. It's a little, I mean, it's complicated in terms of the design, but it is easy to use once you get the hang of it. These are a little bit slower, but I will show you that. So let's say you're empty, okay, and you want to load this quick. So you grab your speed loader here. You're gonna have to go and line them all up, which you gotta kind of like jiggle them around. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Actually, the lead tips on these kind of suck too. And this is something to consider. A lot of people complain that this doesn't go all the way in, and it won't because of the design of the grip right here, how it cuts in, as well as this cylinder release right here. But it goes in enough, because then you just click it, and do it with one hand, and pull it away. See that? Click it, you're ready to go. That's one way, all right? Now you take these strip clips here, or speed strips, stripper clips basically. Now you can only do 2 at a time. Peel back, spin the cylinder, peel back, oh, well, pretend that one went in there, but, so you just have to like peel back and push in at the same time. All right, so you see it's a little bit slower, but you can carry 1 extra round, and you have a spare round in your pocket if you need to. You can probably carry a couple of them. So let's say you carry 6 and 6 and 5, you're getting close to carrying a shield with a spare mag. So, I mean, it's just pros and cons. It really is with revolvers, but with these speed strips, as well as maybe one of these, or if you carry a couple of these in your pocket, if you have like cargo shorts or something that can conceal this, because it is kind of bulky when it's loaded up, then it's a great option for this. All right, so let's talk about, I'm not going to clean it yet. I'm still kind of testing it out, shooting it quite a bit. But when I do clean it, I might even do a video on it. You can see with a close-up here that it is filthy. And that is just something that happens with revolvers. You can see on the front of the cylinder here. It's just gross. And all the spots here, it's all oil. Look at the back here. That's black. See that? Just black. Barrel looks good still. I mean, it's black. It's, dirty, but the rifling, all that from the original was still, it's excellent rifling. No problem with that with the quality. Now there's actually a pin right here, little roll pin. You actually have to go and punch out. I did that earlier. It's pretty stiff the first time you do it. It's just really tight in there, so you really need to get a really good hammer and a good punch, and just punch straight through, okay? So, and this is something that's going to be kind of interesting. This is the first time I took this off. Well, I took it off earlier. This is the first time I took it off earlier. I'll show you guys something I noticed. The outside of this looks really good. I don't really notice any weird marks or anything like that. But you open this up, all right, and this is actually, there's a plastic liner in here, so it's kind of snug. And they just didn't really care to finish the inside of the frame here. You can see there's tool marks everywhere. There's random like letters and stuff, which is, just markings and things like that. But tool marks everywhere. There's like some weird like paint mark here, and like some scrapes here from something. Probably the plastic. It's probably like some kind of adhesive to keep the grip on to help it. But you can see that this is how the frame actually works. And you can see how the spring system is. This is why revolvers are so simple. I mean, there's more mechanisms in here. You can actually take the side plate off if you want. I don't believe Taurus recommends that, but you can if you want. You usually will not have to take all this apart to clean it or anything like that. All you want to do is take care of all this and get all this cleaned up. Like I said, I might do a video on that. But that is it without the grip on. And to put it back on, you just go ahead, slide it back up, seat it up nice, and you'll just go and take a pin and just drive it all the way through. And I'll do that later so I don't mar it up. So just take your time with that. But I did notice that they kind of skipped some of the budgeting there for cleaning that up. So let's say you want to conceal carry your new Taurus Model 85. Well, there's a bunch of options out there. A lot of snub nose revolvers kind of fit the same holster styles. You got a lot of universal ones. And that's kind of the route I took. For $10, you can get yourself a Uncle Mike's size, I believe 36. Kind of suede material on the outside. Inside's like a water wicking material, sweat wicking. Kind of help protect the revolver from actually getting water to it or sweat to it, which is pretty nice, and it fits really well. It's just a universal fit, nothing fancy. I have seen ones with like straps over the top if you want to get like a Velcro, things like that. But the cool part about this is you have the clip here, which is number one, right? And it's a cheap clip. It's just a piece of plastic. It could break, it could bend, but again, it's just a cheap holster to have, and actually I don't want to carry this every day. I think about using it to carry just like on dog walks. So you can actually go and put it, maybe appendix carry, like that. You can see that. And go ahead, pull your shirt over. No one's gonna think the wiser, right? Now, when you draw it, you can't exactly, with these flimsy ones, you can't exactly put it back in there. It's just not gonna work. It's not a Kydex. So if you do draw it, you're not going to be reholstering or do any kind of crazy tactical moves with it. But it works either way. It works at like the 5 o'clock position. There you go. And these, this shirt actually is a Magpul shirt. It's actually called I think the Rainy short sleeve in plaid. This is like, actually the bottom button, you know, one button already. It's a large in the blue stone color, but Magpul makes some awesome shirts. This just feels great, especially in the summer. It's lightweight, but it also has a good form fitting to it, but it also has a good concealed carry form to it. You can see it has a long tail in the end here, so it really helps with bending over if you're concealed carrying. Same with up here, it's pretty flowy in the front, so you can go and concealed carry, appendix carry, and get yourself a revolver on your hip. So, well, that's it, guys. You know, like I said, I think that this little guy here is an awesome budget option, really an awesome revolver option overall, and there's no real wear or any problems at all with it so far. Accurate as you really need it to be. I mean, it's not going to be like a sharpshooter, but I'll tell you right now that it can go with the best of them. I mean, it was getting the same kind of groupings that I can get with my shield. So, and 38 special, I mean, it's a decent round, especially with the plus P, so it'll stop something, right? I mean, and it's better than nothing. So it's definitely a good first handgun, honestly, I would think. If you're looking for a first handgun and kind of dive into the firearms handgun realm. Or if you want your first revolver, this could be a great option. So, well, thanks for watching, guys. Hey, subscribe to the channel, like this video. Let me know if you have any questions below, and have a good one.